Seattle. Today, it's week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Seattle Seahawks. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Take it in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Oh, looking for Waddle, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
Ready?
After the interception, here's Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Okay, ready?
Penny. Going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the jaw. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. This from 25 yards out. Myers' kick is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, they took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Not the way they wanted to begin things. You had the interception on the first play of the game. The good news, it only led to 3 points.
And remember our conversation with him prior to the ball game? He said they had something special designed for the first play. It didn't hit. Let's see if he can rebound from it and not let it get him down.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Carr. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3, but I'm not sure that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all, but the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that they spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
The Smith's throw into the hands of Fant. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He's going to let this go. Back in the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Seahawks at 4-6 now on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Smith throwing again. Over the middle, he finds Eskridge. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. Geno now to throw. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. On 4th down, Smith. He's got his tight end Fant. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there. 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Gets around him. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Smith. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. Touchdown! DK Metcalf. 32 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
Carl try it again on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Carr now on 1st down. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And the Seahawks are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
But that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now Carr. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. On 1st down, Carr. And this one is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Carr to throw again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Now Gino on 1st down. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tariq Woolen picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to... And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Darren Waller, 75 yards. And the Raiders get a late score here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. Well, let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works, sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Off of play action, here's Smith. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
The final shot here before half for Carr. Able to find Walter. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Will Dissly, 41 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 50 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking to throw again on second down. Carr to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Carr now to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play. Now Carr again. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Uchenna Nwosu make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Throwing now is Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average.
Touchdown Raiders! Keelan Cole, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get a bit closer. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. If it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch them.
Walker hit and the ball is out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Throwing on third down, Smith. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington, as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. 61 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw with Carr. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Now Carr, got to have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Big stop and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback to just throw it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there at 22. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Touchdown! Darren Waller, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Raiders have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Carr will look to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
On 1st down, it's Smith. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Cleveland Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Come on.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Carr. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Carr to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Carr going to go on 4th down. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the victory here for